Hi, everybody. Welcome to That's a Thing podcast with Kevin and Drew.
Yay! Or Drew and Kevin. You'll never know who's who. That's the mystery of the spheres that you'll get to encounter. This is That's a Thing, episode .05?
Yarr, I think that's right.
Yeah,
In an effort to differentiate, Drew will be this week played by Pirate Drew.
I think that's a bad idea.
Oh, it's going to be bad.
I wouldn't even. I'd
It's going to hurt
bail.
my throat.
I'd bail immediately. This week, we were going to talk about. Drew was thinking about talking about Thunderbolt Fantasy, but because Mortal Kombat had a live stream, I feel like we can talk about Mortal Kombat because there's some things to say about the Mortal Kombat. Drew, did you watch the live stream of that?
I did until they got to the Ronda Rousey bit, and then I was like, I don't care about Ronda Rousey, and I
Oh,
bailed.
you didn't need to. Like, that's honestly when I muted it. Like, I listened to Ed Boon talk, and then I kind of turned off the stream, and then I turned on later to watch the exhibitions of it.
Yeah, I caught part of those. I wanted to watch the Sonic Fox ones, but I don't know if I came in after those or what. But,
His set is probably, like, once again with Sonic Fox, his set is the best set of the game.
Yeah.
So, and he plays Sonya, and he does some stuff. And
well, he's playing Sonya now. We'll see where that goes.
yeah, he'll play whoever he plays is the one you should probably, if you want to be good at the gameplay.
Yeah, if you want to see top tier week one, just look at Sonic Fox.
He knows that. But so, okay.
To be fair, though, he also said Hit was good week one in Dragon Ball Fighters.
Well, I think part of that is that it's Sonic Fox playing it.
You can't be right all the time.
Well, to me, it's like he's playing it against the. Well, in the week one, you're getting the mass influx.
Yeah.
So like your what's good and bad is going to be because there's a lot more bad people playing. So stuff that would not work against real people is working more than it should. It happens in like Hearthstone and stuff too, where like people will make a bad deck, but because they're playing against a bunch of like mediocre to bad people, it's working. Where it's not optimized at all. Anyway, enough about Hearthstone, more about Mortal Kombat. What do you think about the looks of this new Mortal Kombat, Drew?
I mean, it looks better than Injustice 2 and Injustice 1. Like, okay, so when an NRS game makes a new game, if it's a Mortal Kombat game, I always start off thinking, well, this looks good, this looks promising. If it's an Injustice game, it just immediately looks bad, and I have no interest at all. But MK9 I got interested in, and then I played it and I didn't like it. And then MKX happened and it looked interesting and I kind of liked it. So maybe this one, it looks interesting. It's slower paced. It looks more footsie focused.
They've said it. Like
Yeah.
it's weird because whenever I see people, like I've seen some of the heavy NetherRealm Mortal Kombat guys, and the stuff they're complaining about Mortal Kombat 11 is stuff I'm like, yeah. Where they're like, yeah, it's a slower, less combat.
I don't have this like a string that then leads into like a high-low mix-up mid-string that you have to guess on.
Yeah.
And if I've only played those at a casual level, and those are impossible.
My greatest weakness in fighting games, as Drew can attest, as he's the guy who plays me in fighting games, is a 1-2 high-low.
Yep.
Like I can't. My brain dies. If it's like a big old thing of Rekkas and then a high-low, my brain has enough time to
you're right.
register it. But if it's just like a 1, then high-low guess, my brain just completely falls apart and dies. And this game doesn't seem to have that. In the what I've been hearing is that the vortexes are more of like you have to meter burn it. So it's meter. So like, yeah, you might have one vortex, but that's costing you a bar.
And it's also the thing of, if that's true, you only have 2 offensive bars anyway. So that game looks like it takes more than 3 hits to win.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Also, so like the thing with that game, it is you have the offensive bar and the defensive bar, and the defense seems to be for interactables and I think like wake up options.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know if it gives you your armor or not, but it also you can roll with it, and
I think you have like a overhead, like a weight, it might be an armored overhead and an armor like.
I don't think it's a overhead, but yeah, I think you have an armored wake up.
Yeah,
and stuff.
like there's a universal wake up that uses it, and then there's a roll. So it's kind of like, and I think there's also like a mid-air pop out, so you can like sort of like if they're juggling you, you can burn a bar to get out, which I think is really good. I'm still like,
and that's also something returning from Injustice. It's NRS does get slightly better with each game. Okay, they get better with each MK game, and not better with each Injustice game.
I think, well, it's just like it's what like I feel they're trying. They might not succeed all the time, but they are trying. Like it feels they're not just like pumping out the same game every time. It feels like they are working at it. They're the speed grapher of video game. Well, okay. This is pure gameplay. I think in terms of graphical quality, this game is beautiful.
Yeah,
but it's more like it is the Mortal Kombat. Like you got to be in for that dumb Mortal Kombat art design.
But I like also on that like the animations are improved. Like the attacks look better. There is a good thread from Art Eater on Twitter that goes more into it, but things aren't like so muddy.
And I would say even like their character models. Like if you look at a person's face in Mortal Kombat 9 and they all have this horrible...
Well, they look fine in MKX. The ladies don't look good, and the ladies still aren't great here.
But they're way better.
They're way better.
Like, that you were glad that Katana and Melina weren't masked in Mortal Kombat 9.
Also, you got custom characters, so you can give like everyone a mask.
It's like... that's the thing I'm glad they took from Injustice 2 is the idea,
gear stuff.
The gear stuff, but not giving it stats. Just give because
actually there are kind of stats. So
I know there's special moves.
Well, yeah. So like the special move stuff, like that has slots. It's like this is a really good special move. It will cost all 3 of your slots,
which I think is cool. I think that's an interesting. I've always and we're gonna go back to the open up Pandora's box of Cross Tekken. I really like the idea of the gym system. Gogi kind of is there, but it's just this idea where you can customize your fighter.
Yep.
So like
it's your Metabots, your custom Robo, whatever. It's this Ryu is my Ryu.
I want my Ryu to be really good at Fireball.
Yeah.
And I like that because it enables you to kind of you play a character and then you're like, it allows you to basically do what you like doing better. And I think that's good. It's hard to balance because, how do you say what's better?
At the same time, I don't think it is hard to balance because it's so open that means like, oh, well, this is like, no, this is kind of broken and OP. But like, oh, I just found this character and I did this loadout and it hard counters it.
Yeah.
But we won't know until it happens. And I'm more concerned about like how that's going to be implemented in tournaments because I really want that to be a fast and easy way to just build your loadout in tourney, but I don't know a way that you can really do it.
Yeah, so I'm hopeful for this game, but there's a few things about it.
You could dare say you're cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I am cautiously optimistic, but there are a couple things about it that rubbed me kind of the wrong way. I think primarily it's the offensive meter. I think the double-edged sword I like it being somewhat automatic. So like it's encouraging you to basically use your meter. It wants you to spend your meter more, which is I think cool because in fighting games, doing an EX move is always it feels good to do your move and then pump it up a little bit more. I like that. What I'm concerned with, and this is, I think NetherRealm games, in my casual level, the biggest issue is its projectile game, where it feels like Baraka, this is like day 0 footage. This is like actually -0 footage.
Yeah, the game's not released. This could be patched.
They could change basically.
Yeah, it's not even a patch at this point. It's just
it's
adjusted.
Not even out.
Yeah,
like they could change how the offensive meter bar is.
No.
Like they could say, what I've seen is that he gets to do like his little fireball and then meter burn it to do a double fireball. and it seems like he just doesn't run out of bar. And maybe that's because it's not filling up like as fast, or it's filling up too quickly. But my concern is that projectile maybe, and honestly, all you'd have to do is say that like a projectile burn comes back slower. So you can zone, but it's like if you're Baraka and maybe you're not spec'd for his little fireball and you double tap it, then it's going to take a little while to come back. So you can't just sit back and do it.
And that's the other thing of like maybe that's a custom Baraka that was focused on fireballs. But watching that exhibition between Baraka and
I think it was Scarlet.
Scarlet, yeah, I tried to say Jade too, and I'm like, no, that's the green one. I need the red one. But it felt like his basic Hadoken fireball was better than her like dedicated zoning move.
And she has like two of she felt like she had like a
like
fireball and a little tongue.
Yeah,
thingy.
that tongue whippy thing. I feel like all you have to do is just make that a hard knockdown.
Yeah,
just make it because it only comes out at a set range, so you can't really use it for vortex. But if it would have just knocked him down and he had to stay down and give her time to set up her next elaborate fireball. But no, he's just like, no, Hadoken.
Or if it just did more damage.
Oh, look, mine hit you and I had time to block.
Yeah. Or, I mean, but to me, that's things.
And maybe the Scarlet wasn't meter burning.
That's true. Like, one of the things I did notice in what I think this game, it's going to mess people up on, is people were not using their bar a lot because it felt like that bar,
and that's day 0. They're gonna get better.
Yeah, and this is me sitting like at home watching like a stream archive where I get to feel very superior. Where I'm like, yeah, I'm not on stage playing the game. Why isn't he just using his meter more?
I'm not having to use mental resources about what might happen.
Yeah, like no, you just use meter more. You're using a lot. Story mode, I'm interested in. But I've always been interested in the Mortal Kombat story. Well, not always. Okay, so I like Mortal Kombat from 1, 2, and 3, and then we skip directly to 9.
No, you don't skip directly to 9. We all know you skip to the Sonya, Jax, and not Kano.
Jarek ending.
Okay, you got to make a detour to there.
All right, so you go 1, 2, 3. Then you skip to some ending cutscenes at 4, and then we skip to 9. Well, actually, okay, you can.
You skip to 9.
You skip to 9.
That's fine.
Because it's just like
if you don't skip to 9, where do you get Soulnado?
Well, okay, I love the Soulnado. That's part of the reason why I wanted to talk about this, is so I get to draw the Soulnado
again.
I love the Soulnado.
Let's just reblog the original.
It's because Mortal Kombat is so like it's such a classless thing that it's beautiful. Like it to me, Street Fighter.
It's a bad fanfic that has gotten a ton of cash flushed into it.
It's like Mortal Kombat feels like a drawing on like a 90s Trapper Keeper that's made to fruition.
Oh, you mean drawn to death?
But good. Like, to me, like, if you were to ask, like 13 to 12 to 14-year-old me to make a game and what in my mind it looks like, it would look like Mortal Kombat, where you're like, yeah, it's all sick, and then Kano rips off not Kano, but Baraka rips off the face, and then he rips off his face again,
his subdermal face,
and then he stabs the brain and eats it. It's just, and I'm like, yeah, that's sick.
It's also, we've obviously hit the point of, in MKX, it was, we have the brain, like, rendered now, so that's a lot of fatalities focused on this one. This one clearly has, we've got the whole brain, it's brain textures, and eyeballs rendered.
Yeah, eyeballs.
So those are highly also.
Very important. What do you think, kind of gameplay, so this is, we're talking about gameplay things, what do you think about the critical blow system?
It's weird. I was just reading a thing earlier today where it's like lethal hits in Soul Calibur, except I don't even know how those really work in Soul Calibur.
I think so. In Soul Calibur, it's basically a counter hit with a certain move.
No, you have to hit with an X move X number of times.
Because that in this game, I think there's 2 ways to do it.
It's some things trigger on counter hit, and it'll auto do it. But some things like not Jade, Scarlet, her throw will trigger a lethal hit. if they tech the wrong way.
So, and it's like, I know.
So it's also arcane and bizarre.
So there's, like I was watching, I think I watched Mag's video, and he said that like an uppercut, if it counter hits, it'll do one, it'll knock him up for like a juggle.
Yeah.
But then like Sub-Zero, if he hits with like an EX slide like 3 times, then on the 3rd time you can do it. And
it's kind of like how brutalities work.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it saves. Like, I know you can do, so like if you do the EX slide 3 times.
No, it's I think at that point the next one auto happens, and it's also you only get each one once per game.
Yeah, and part of me thinks that's an interesting idea because it kind of like, I got hit with 2. It makes you want to block, or
you're looking for it.
It gives it both. And I like the things in fighting games where you get a situation where you know what your opponent wants to do, because it both incentivizes you
not doing
it, but also doing it. So it's like, he really wants, my life's low, he's hit me with that slide twice, I know I need to block it, but then my opponent can be like, oh, now I never do it.
Now I just throw you.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk up and throw, or just throw a little ice ball, or the things were like,
and it's also clearly just done to add to the cinematic presentation of the thing, because now all fighting games are made not to be fighting games, but to be streamable,
which I think's important. I think it's both important, but it's also readable. Because I think the thing is, whenever you see one of those, if you're a layman and you're somehow watching Mortal Kombat, which you might be, because Mortal Kombat
has a huge casual player base.
It's
NRS fans, MKX and Injustice 2 well outsold anything Capcom put out.
And I think that it's one of those where like I'm glad, because I feel like I maybe this is me being sort of old man, but I appreciate fighting games that are easier and casual if it gets people in there. Like if you, even if like you like Mortal Kombat and only Mortal Kombat, that's something. Like that's a bedrock where maybe you can play like Killer Instinct, or even just like it. More people playing Mortal Kombat encourages Street Fighter to be better.
Yeah,
like it's just,
I can understand it from that point, but it's also, that's all fighting games have tried to do for the past, like since Street Fighter 4 came out, they've tried more and more to appeal to a casual player base, and more it's shown it doesn't work. It does not get people in. The reason Injustice and MK sold so well is just because of the single player content they have. And it's not exactly encouraging them to get better. They just play through the story, then sell it back to GameStop, and then wait 2 years for the new one to come out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. You need a better system to teach people how to play these games and how to get good at them.
Yeah. It's somewhat a shame that the best one is like Guilty Gear. Like Guilty Gear's tutorial.
But even then, I don't think that one's, I would dare say the best one's actually Melee's Smash the Target and what was Land on the Platform.
Yeah, like it's Smash Brothers.
They teach you how to play that game with little mini games that you come back to. Guilty Gear tutorial, as good as it is, you play it once and you never come back to it.
Yeah, that's true. It's this, I don't know, I don't want to say sad truth, but it's just like I still feel that Smash, like if you want to make
I can't even say it's Smash Bros. It's just Melee. They stopped doing break the target and land on the platform.
Well, I'm just saying in general, like for fighting, like it's it's like Smash Brothers and Mortal Kombat are the success, and I feel like if you could somehow merge like the ideas of both, but then have a good, I don't know. That's just wishful. That's just saying I want every game to have the best part of every game.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, no, those games are so appealing because you can get immediate stuff. When you play Mortal Kombat, you can hit like 1-2-1 and like you'll do a punch string, and like just mashing stuff out, you get a visual feedback. Mashing stuff out in Street Fighter, you get like one normal at a time.
Yeah, like it's like Tekken also sort of had, but usually every character has a string that's just the same button 3 times.
Yeah.
Like it's just a punch, punch, punch.
Yeah.
And
in Smash, everyone has a
set
combo.
Which it's kind of like I think that's good because it allows people to do it. And I think it's just
it's what BB Tag does great.
Yeah.
That's the only like 2D fighter that has auto combos where I think it's real good.
Because it makes you feel like you're actually pressing, like you're doing your control.
Each auto combo is very unique.
Well, let me see here. That's like 20 minutes. We kind of diverged at the end about other fighting games.
Yeah,
so let's just do final thoughts. Mortal Kombat 11.
I'm probably gonna pick it up just for the character customization stuff. I hope that's really good, and I hope all the specials at least are unlocked from the start. I'm okay having to unlock aesthetics. I'm not happy about unlocking aesthetics, but I'll be okay with.
I'm sort of I kind of like unlocking aesthetics and costume pieces, but I don't like unlocking characters or variations. That's just it's like, yeah, I'll play story mode to get the cool hats, but if I want to like plug in the game and play, I'd rather just be able to like plug in the game and play, which is install whatever. This Mortal Kombat, cautiously optimistic. Maybe I'll get it. It's going to depend on basically where I'm at and if I'm playing. If I'm playing any
Depends
game,
on how good RE2 is.
well, I'm going to buy RE2. This Mortal Kombat's in
April.
April?
Yeah, 423.
420.
3.
Oh, you missed an opportunity. You should have had, because you could have had it release on 420 and then have exclusive day one DLC of Smoke. Think about it. Think about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
actually, I'd be super hyped for Smoke because that'd be.
I think
because you had the robot and the ninja stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why he's a very good custom character stuff. Oh, and they teased Cabal.
Yeah,
I don't care about Cabal.
Cabal, I don't remember who said it, but Cabal feels like it's like he's a character we're like, all right, what costume pieces do we have left at the Mortal Kombat costume? We have a gas mask and some pants and these swords, and that's it. We're good to go. Cabal's never been my favorite.
Junkyard.
But if Stryker comes back.
Yeah, everyone loves Stryker.
Everyone loves Stryker.
The only cop that we like.
Yeah. All right, That's a Thing endorses the first of That's a Thing's endorsed cops is going to be Stryker. Detectives don't count. So, like, detectives I usually like more than cop. But regular cops,
we won't beat
the number one first, like, since we have the Golden Schnozzes, we're going to have the Stryker Award, Stryker Hall of Fame for good cops. Number one is Stryker.
All right.
And that's how I think the podcast is over. If you want to get in touch with me or Drew, I put our Twitters in, like, the
description below.
Yeah. Do a comment. Maybe we'll read it. I think, yeah, you know what? If you comment, we'll read it.
Yeah, shout outs to Dink Dabber.
Yeah, good job. Next episode will either be about Thunderbolt Fantasy or we might just start rating the Pokemon.
Yeah. Depends on what happens this week.
It depends if anything if anything happens. Thanks, Internet, for hanging out.
Later days.
Later days.